Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a hot topic that's got everyone talking. Will Bitcoin crash on Trump's inauguration day? Now I know what you're thinking, another Bitcoin prediction video? But trust me, this isn't about clickbait. We're gonna break down the factors, the possibilities, and the potential scenarios so you can make informed decisions. Because let's be real, trying to time the market perfectly is like trying to predict the lottery numbers. Instead, we're all about understanding the forces at play. So, buckle up, grab your coffee, and let's dive into the wild world of Bitcoin and political uncertainty. Alright, let's talk about uncertainty. It's like that feeling you get when you're about to ride a roller coaster for the first time, a mix of excitement and, oh my god, what am I doing? And when it comes to politics and finance, uncertainty can make things very interesting to say the least. See, political events, especially ones as significant as a presidential inauguration, can create a whole lot of uncertainty in the market. Think about it. New policies, new agendas, new directions, it's enough to make even the most seasoned investors a little jittery. And when people get jittery, they tend to act impulsively, which can lead to increased market volatility. And if Trump's policies are perceived as being unfavorable towards crypto, well, that could potentially trigger a sell-off. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's definitely a possibility we need to consider, because remember, we're not trying to predict the future here, we're trying to understand the risks and the potential rewards. Now let's flip the script and talk about profit-taking. Imagine this, Bitcoin has been on a tear in the weeks leading up to the inauguration. It's been hitting new all-time highs, everyone's excited, and then bam, Trump gets sworn in. What do you think some investors might be tempted to do? That's right, take profits. They see a major event, a potential for a market shakeup, and they decide to cash out while they're ahead. And hey, can you blame them? It's classic. Buy the rumor, sell the news behavior. They're not necessarily selling because they think Bitcoin is doomed. They're selling because they're locking in gains and playing it safe. So, even if Trump's inauguration doesn't directly cause a crash, the mere anticipation of it could lead to a wave of profit-taking, which could then trigger a temporary dip in the market. Let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture, because sometimes, it's not just about the event itself, but about what else is happening in the world at the same time. And in the world of finance, macro factors like the strength of the US dollar and interest rates can play a huge role in how Bitcoin performs. Think of it like this. When the dollar is strong, Bitcoin tends to be weak, and when interest rates rise, Bitcoin can also feel the pressure. So if Trump's inauguration happens to coincide with a strengthening dollar, or the Federal Reserve deciding to raise interest rates, well, that could create a bit of a headwind for Bitcoin. It's all about supply and demand, folks. If investors see better returns elsewhere, they might be less inclined to hold on to their Bitcoin. Chapter 4. Market Behavior, the Bitcoin Paradox. Here's the thing about Bitcoin, it loves to keep us on our toes. It's like that friend who always shows up to the party in a completely unexpected outfit. You never know what you're gonna get. And one of the most fascinating things about Bitcoin is how it often reacts counterintuitively to events. You'd think bad news would always lead to a crash, right? Not necessarily. Sometimes the market anticipates the bad news, prices it in, and then when the event actually happens, we see a relief rally instead of a crash. It's like everyone was bracing for impact, and then when the impact wasn't as bad as they thought, they breathed a collective sigh of relief and started buying back in. So even if everyone is expecting a Bitcoin crash on Trump's inauguration day, there's a chance the market has already priced that expectation in. Chapter 5. Long-term bull market. Is this just a blip? Now let's step back even further and talk about the long-term outlook for Bitcoin. Because at the end of the day, short-term fluctuations are just that, short-term. If you're a long-term believer in Bitcoin, then you understand that its price is driven by much more than just a single event, even one as significant as a presidential inauguration. So let's say, hypothetically, Bitcoin does take a dip on or around Trump's inauguration day. What then? Well, if you believe in the long-term potential of Bitcoin, then you might see that dip as a buying opportunity, a chance to load up on your favorite digital asset while it's on sale. Because remember, the Bitcoin market is cyclical. It goes through bull markets and bear markets, periods of growth and periods of consolidation. Chapter 6. Adoption Trends, the Future of Bitcoin. Let's talk about the future because that's what really matters, right? And when it comes to Bitcoin, the future is all about adoption. The more people and institutions that use and invest in Bitcoin, the stronger its foundation becomes. And guess what? The adoption trend is looking pretty good. We're seeing more and more institutional investors adding Bitcoin to their portfolios. We're seeing companies like Tesla and Square investing millions, even billions of dollars in Bitcoin. We're seeing entire countries like El Salvador adopting Bitcoin as legal tender. So even if there's some short-term volatility around Trump's inauguration, these long-term adoption trends suggest that Bitcoin is here to stay. Outro: Bitcoin and Trump. The verdict. So what's the verdict? Will Bitcoin crash on Trump's inauguration day? Honestly, nobody knows for sure. It's like trying to predict the weather. You can look at the forecast, analyze the data, but ultimately Mother Nature does whatever she wants. But here's the thing, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you understand the factors at play, the risks and the potential rewards, and that you make informed decisions based on your own research and risk tolerance. Don't let the hype or the fear get to you. Remember, knowledge is power, so stay informed, stay safe. So what's your take? Will Bitcoin crash or rally on Trump's inauguration day? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates. Stay informed and stay safe.